Hello and welcome to our Varsity preview programme. Coming up in the show, we head to France to catch up with the Sunderland Snowsports team as they finalise their preparations with training on the slopes. We speak to some Sunderland Gaelic Football team members in the studio to find out their Varsity aspirations and just how Gaelic football really works. And we see what a day in the life of Sunderland Spartans American football Defence Captain Chris Middlemas is like as he prepares for the side's Varsity showdown with Teesside. First of all, with Varsity almost upon us, preparations for the big day on Wearside are in full swing and teams are training hard in an attempt to bring the title back to Sunderland, none more so than Snowsports. The Sunderland University Snowsports Society headed out to France in preparation for Varsity. There were cancellations to the competition due to take place on the dry slopes in the last two Teesside Varsities, but following a convincing win versus York St John in the pre-season Varsity last October, they are relishing the challenge of facing Teesside.
Hi, I'm Adam Green. I run the Snowsports at Sunderland Uni. Currently sat in Avoriaz in France on our annual trip.
Alright Adam, so how's it going then and what are your expectations for Varsity?
Yeah, we've had a really successful pre-season Varsity against York where we won, York St John, which was really good, really promising, and we've had the best performance that we've had so far at Buds this year. A few of our boarders got down to like the best they've ever done in the border cross competition, which we've not entered before, so that was really promising. So our team's looking really good this year.
So how do the races work exactly?
The way our races work at Varsity is we basically do dual slalom, mixed boarders and skiers, which means we have two slalom tracks set up side by side, and it's a head-to-head team race where one person gets to the bottom, the next team member can go, the first team to finish. So it's a pretty exciting spectator sport as well. And this year it's going to be held in Sunderland, so it'll be at Silksworth Dry Slope. Silksworth is where we go like every week to practice, and it's really good there. They're really cool to us.
So is that where everyone can come and see you compete then?
Yeah, so Silksworth's really cool. So it'll be held there. It's pretty easy to get there. It'll be really cool if everyone could come along and support our team.
So how would you assess this season and how's the training been going?
This year our team has improved a hell of a lot. We've got a lot of new people into the team because we've got a ton of freshers this time, and there's a lot of really good talent. And being here in France really helps us with our improving our skills and stuff. Because have a look about, freaking pistes everywhere. So yeah, so many runs, and the ski area is huge. Switzerland's just over there. We popped there for a beer the other day, and it was brilliant. And yeah, it's really helping us improve our skills because we can snowboard and ski all day, every day for the trip. It's really cool.
So how do people at the uni get involved with Snowsports then?
If you want to get involved with Snowsports, just go onto Facebook. It's Facebook /groups/Sunderland Snowsports, and get in touch.
Brilliant. So as Adam said, you can get yourself down to Silksworth to see this year's Snowsports. It's a night before Varsity, and for any further details, head to the SportsByte website. Thanks very much to the guys out in France. Right, so obviously there's a huge range of events taking place as part of Varsity, including volleyball, rugby and even golf. One of the most obscure to people in the UK, or England and Scotland in particular, is Gaelic football. The sport is one of the most popular sports in Ireland and should be making an appearance in the Teesway of Varsity. I am joined by Sunderland Uni Gaelic football players Tom and Connor here in the studio. Hey guys, you alright?
Hi, how's it going?
Yeah. Fantastic. First of all, can you explain just how Gaelic football works?
Well, for people that don't know what it is, I suppose you could say Gaelic football is a mix of a couple of sports. You could say it's a bit like rugby, a bit like football. It's probably most like an Australian sport, Australian rules. It has similar skills. Like there's a lot of skills that are involved in it now, like maybe jumping, catching, kicking. Very important to be very fit as well because it's very intense up and down the pitch a lot. So yeah.
Alright, so fitness plays a big part, does it?
Yeah, fitness would be very important now, like as much as all the skills nearly, especially the game is going in that way now. Yep. The fitness is more and more important with gym work and whatnot.
You can have the skill, but the quick tempo of the game, I feel, without the fitness levels, you're going to be lacking because in the last 10 minutes, the fitter teams will tend to show, I'd imagine.
All right, fantastic. So obviously we're in April now, and the season's been ongoing since sort of October time. How do you assess how your season's gone?
Yeah, not too bad. So we lost a few players at the back end of last season, as you would be with any academic year.
Yeah.
And then we started back up training about October time, was it?
Yeah, it was October.
Yeah. And we entered the All Britain regionals, and we had to then face, obviously being in the North East region, Northumbria and Newcastle home and away. Yeah. Both of them higher divisions than us, so we always knew it was going to be a tough test. Missing a few of the lads through different other reasons, some being back in Ireland, some through other sports. But we still took part, we still fielded the team. It was a very, very tough level. Unfortunately, we didn't get out of our region for that. But then after Christmas, our focus turned to the British Championships, which was a few weekends ago in Birmingham, which we went on to win Division 4, which we're absolutely delighted with.
Yeah, very good.
Oh, fantastic. So obviously you mentioned the Division 4 win at the BUGAAs in Birmingham. So obviously with that in mind, you're doing well at the moment. How do you assess your chances for Varsity?
Yeah, well, obviously at the start of the year we struggled, but we weren't too worried about that. We knew they were two very good teams and we wouldn't be coming up against the likes of them again. So I suppose we kind of moved on. We built for the championships more than anything. We got to the championships and I think we reached the peak of our performance. We gelled as a team. We looked very good. We upped the training before it. So overall, I think as a team we're playing fantastically well at the moment. I think probably the best we've played all year. So I'd be very confident of putting a point on the board for Sunderland in the varsity matches.
Excellent, excellent. So very positive outlook then. So who would you say is star players going into Varsity then?
As an all-round team, I think we have a very nice balanced team. We kind of managed to, with picking his team, he managed to equal it out with different height components and maybe fitness and strength. He tried to even it out with the positions because some of the lads had never played before, so he was more evening it out. But we had two additions back after Christmas because one was Rob Murphy, who was playing rugby, a very good rugby player, and the other was Dara Chesa, who is a cross-country runner. We didn't have him before Christmas because he was doing the All-Ireland Cross-Country Championships where he comes sixth. Unfortunately just missed out and represented Ireland at the Europeans. But them two come back and they were phenomenal down in Birmingham the other weekend.
Yeah, you could say they were definitely the most outstanding players down there, like out of all the teams you can really say. They really drove the team on now. You could see that it was their last year, they wanted to win it, so yeah, they were fantastic.
Brilliant to do it for them. For ourselves obviously, but for them as well, like being their last crack at it. So
excellent. So obviously people that play other sports are encouraged to get into Gaelic football and things. It's definitely that kind of sport.
Absolutely. It's like it's one of them sports where I feel everybody in the class could play.
Yeah.
Because you've got Rob there, a big built lad who plays rugby. His strength, his contribution of his strength to the team is like second to none. But then we have someone who's not the biggest build, but absolutely unbelievable fitness levels in Dara, whose contribution to the team was absolutely phenomenal as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like people who've played football, the likes of Tom and another member of the team, Conor Harley, had never played Gaelic football. They came from a football background, had played it the whole way up, and they took to the game like second to none really. They're two key members of the team now.
Right. So obviously, like we said, it's not the most well-known sport in England and Scotland. It's a lot bigger in Ireland. How can people at the uni get involved in Gaelic football?
Well, at the start of the year we have a standing freshers fair and we welcome anyone that will come. I think we're a very open bunch. We embrace anyone who wants to come and play. We'll give you a chance to learn. We'll teach from the very start. It's the same where everyone has to learn the basics again. It's a good sport to learn. I think, yeah, we're handing out flyers and stuff, so yeah.
Hopefully we'll get the interest again next year and can push on from the Division 4 this year and hopefully do well in Division 3 next year in the British Championships. Hopefully that'll be the goal.
Excellent. So people from England and Scotland getting involved. Obviously, it's second to none in terms of the Irish contingent getting involved. But people from England and Scotland, there's rumours of Sky getting involved with television rights for Gaelic football. Do you think that could benefit in terms of the uptake in the UK?
Oh, absolutely. I'd say it'd be like second to none for people to be able to see it. I think you need to have the sports on television constantly. You look at even like sports on Sky, the new introductions of sports like darts, they do a lot more of rugby league now. The two sports have come on leaps and bounds. I feel if Sky was to have it, then hopefully it could come on leaps and bounds in England, just like
bring on the exposure kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it would be fantastic for the game to go global. Like obviously it's predominantly an Irish sport at the moment, but like you see not even our team but other teams, the English players playing, the South African players playing, the European players playing, and like we played a team from France in the final and they were fantastic.
Yep.
So I think it's fantastic for the game to go global and expand as much as it can.
Yep, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for coming in, lads, and giving us an insight into Gaelic football.
Thanks for having
Thank you
us.
very much.
Cheers. Finally, we followed a player from the Sunderland Spartans American football side around for the day to see what life was like as a University of Sunderland athlete.
Hi, I'm Chris Middlemas. I'm Defence Captain of the Sunderland Spartans.
Obviously, you never played American football before you came to university. Joining the team was a big thing for you. What have you learned and how can you fall in love with the sport over the 3 years?
Well, it's just a different type of sport. Obviously, when I was growing up, I played a lot of rugby, and I was one of them people who thought that American football is a bit of a wimp sport, considering they're all padded up and wearing a helmet and stuff. But I remember when I made my first proper tackle and hitting during a game, and I was like, "This is not a sport for wimps. This is a bit of a man's sport." So it was as soon as then, I just loved it. Just fell in love with the sport. I just loved the social side of it as well as good team, and I just loved the sport as well.
So then, obviously, getting into third year, became defensive captain of the team. It's a bit of an honour there.
Yeah, it was. This is going to sound big-headed, but I sort of expected it as being one of the senior players. But I thought a couple of us were going to get it, but I got it and I hopefully did my job well.
So obviously you mentioned about being a senior player. Did you feel any sort of pressure to sort of bring the rookies that had joined recently through? Or?
Yeah, there's a couple of freshers I took under my wing. Like tried to develop them. As in my first year, I was looked after a little bit. So it's as a senior player, you've got to set the standards. You've got to show the freshers how and the rookies how it's done.
So you don't just play American football at the university. Obviously, you're a multi-talented, multi-sport guy.
Born athlete, I think it's.
Born athlete, some would say. What is the key to your sort of?
I've always loved sport from a very young age. I've tried to participate in as much sport as I possibly can. When I was younger, I used to play football. I was a goalkeeper. Did play for the uni as well. When in Birmingham, I was playing Gaelic football as well. Played for the uni as well at Gaelic, and then rugby was a big part of my life. My dad was a very, very good rugby player, and it was sort of like trying to impress him, trying to take after him. So that's one of the reasons why I took up rugby. And then obviously during the summer I'd be bored, so I played a bit of cricket as well.
You mentioned sort of trying to impress your dad. Is that one of the things that you've always tried to do when you've been playing sport?
Yeah, he's a big influence. He's always been there from day one when I've played sport. So yeah, I was trying to impress him. Hopefully I did, but sometimes I'd have the best game of my life, come off the pitch, and my dad would pick my performance to pieces and saying I could have improved in a lot of areas. So.
This season with the American football team, you've obviously done the best that has been
yeah
ever since formation. Looking ahead to Varsity, any expectations or?
Win, pretty much. The start of the season was a bit dodgy. We weren't on a bit of a hype after our scrimmage against Manchester. We got a bit of a confidence boost and we short-lived before we faced Durham. But after that, it was a good game, a good season. So I don't expect anything more than a win.
So you're on your team. Time for some team talk. Obviously, a few questions, just simple answers. Who's the hardest on the team?
Johnny Frame, without a shadow of a doubt. He's got a couple of screws loose, that boy. Big tackler, big hitter, all round tough guy, to be honest.
Who's the best in training?
Best in training, it's got to be Alex Wilson. He's there, come rain or shine. He gives 100%. If he's not involved in a play, he's off the side, running routes, going through the playbook. So I'd say he's the hardest trainer.
Who's the joker of the pack?
There's a few. Pete, he likes to tell a joke. Myself, I think I try and tell a joke, but I don't know.
So what would you usually take on a game day?
Usually on a game day, on a Sunday, going down in shirt and tie, a bit of respect and very presentable. Towel, for obvious reasons, after the game. Lowers, a requirement for the sport. Protect your legs, hips and stuff like that. Jersey, obviously, to wear. Some skins, keep me warm. Then I usually have my medical bag with me. It's got stuff like Tiger Balm, DP, there's a lot of tape in there. Already have my gloves and my boots in there. And then another thing I usually pack is a spare few pair of contact lenses, just in case I have a bit of a poke in the eye or something like that.
Thanks to Chris for giving us an insight into his daily routine. Well, it's almost time for the main event, the Tees We at Varsity 2014. And after a narrow defeat on Teesside last year, Sunderland will be looking for revenge on home soil. Here are a few of the fixtures and when and where they'll be taking place.
We have American football at 2:30 at Riot Road. Archery will be between 10 and 1 at City Space. The men's badminton's first and seconds will be at 11 o'clock at City Space. The men's basketball first team will play at 7 o'clock at City Space, where the women's firsts play at 5:30. The cheerleading will be at 7:30 at City Space, and the outdoor cricket will start at 12 at Hilton Cricket Club. The dance will be at 4 o'clock at City Space, equestrian at Penshaw, and the men's tennis first and seconds will start at 1 at the Puma Tennis Centre. Trampolining will be at 2 o'clock at the Academy 360. Men's volleyball's first will be at 1 o'clock at City Space, along with the volleyball mixed. For full fixture details, check out the SportsByte website or download the SportsByte app.
Well, that's all from us here today. Remember to catch up with us in the days following Varsity for all the best action and reaction. Thanks for watching and come on Sunderland Uni.